Okay guys, we're going to do lesson 4.2, which is writing equations in slope-intercept form. So far what we've been working on is we've been rewriting equations in slope-intercept form, just given some information either off of graphs or they give us the m and the m and the b. Now, what we're going to work on today is we're going to be writing things in slope-intercept form. So again, that's y equals mx plus b, given the slope and a coordinate point, or given two coordinate points. Okay? All right, so when I look here in example 1, it says write an equation of a line that passes through the given point and has the given slope. So let's focus in here on A real quick for you. All right, so I have a coordinate point of -2, 5 and a slope of 3. Okay? So now, unlike when we just had M and B and we could just plug it straight in, unfortunately here we're missing a B value. We don't have B. We have a slope and we have an XY coordinate point. So what we're going to do is we're still going to be going ahead and using y equals mx plus b, because that's our slope-intercept form, okay? But to get the x and the y, I've already got it. I've got -2 is my x value and 5 is my y value. And then they've given me a slope of 3. So what I'm going to do is plug this information in and I'm going to solve for b. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and plug in. We're going to have 5, oh, got my pen here, 5 equals, my m is 3, my x is -2 plus b, again solving for the b. So I get 5 equals -6 plus b, add the 6 over and get 11 equals b. So now when I write my final equation, I'm going to need the slope, so this guy right here, and I'm going to need my b value, just like we did in a previous lesson. Okay, so my final equation will be y equals m is 3, x plus my b value, which is 11. And that is how I write that into slope-intercept form. Okay, let's look at another example here. So on the second example, we still have the x and y has been given to us, and we still have the slope. So we're still going to be solving for b. So again, when I'm thinking about y equals mx plus b, y is -7, m is -1, x is 4, and I need to find b. So solving my equation here, I've got -7 equals -4 plus b. Add the 4 over, and I get -3 equals b. So again, I'm going to use my slope information from right here and my b value to rewrite my equation into y equals, my slope is -1x minus 3. Now, if you choose, you can just write it as -x minus 3. You don't have to have that 1 there. Either one of these two equations would be good. Okay, so this is what we do when we're given a coordinate point and the slope. So now let's look down here on example 2. And now what they're doing is they're going to give us 2 coordinate points. Okay, so now we're missing m and b. So we're going to have to find both of them. So the first thing we want to do for step 1 here is we're going to find the slope, or your m value. Okay, so we're going to set up your slope formula. So m equals, we've got 12 minus -8 over -1 minus 4. So if I'm thinking about this, this is going to give me a plus 20 over -5. So my final slope here when reduced will be -4. Okay. Now I'm back to where I was in the last problems. I have a slope and I actually have 2 coordinate points. So I have 2 xy values. It does not matter which of these 2 you choose to pick. All right. So for this example, we'll go ahead and just pick the first one here and do this as x and y. Again, if you really wanted to choose 4, -8, that's fine as well. So step 2, we're going to find the y-intercept, which is my b value. Okay, just like we were doing in the previous problems. So I've got, thinking about y equals mx plus b, okay, I'm going to plug in my y is 12, my slope is -4, x is -1 plus b. So 12 equals 4 plus b, subtract the 4 off, and you get 8 equals b. Okay, so now I'm going to use my slope and my intercept, and I'm going to scroll here, and I'm going to write my final equation on step 3. Okay, so on step 3, step 3, my final equation. So write final equation. Okay, so I'm going to have y equals, your slope is negative 4x, and your b value is plus 8. And that will be my final answer. Okay, all right, let's go over here and look at example B. Okay, going through the same 3 steps. So step 1, I'll put a 1 here off the side so you understand that's step 1. Okay, so we're going to find slope. So I've got m equals negative 8 minus 0 over 5 minus negative 7. All right, so we're going to get negative 8, 2 negatives become a plus, 12. So my slope reduced will be negative 2/3. Okay, step 2, we're going to find our b value again. Again, it doesn't matter which of these two you want to pick. So just for this example, I'll go ahead and pick the second one just to show you. So I've got y equals mx plus b. Again, I'm going to plug in 0 for my y, negative 2/3 for my m, negative 7 for my x, plus b. So 0 equals, negative times negative is a positive. Remember, this is 7 over 1, so it's just 14/3 plus b, and subtract the 14/3 off. So I end up with negative 14/3 equals b. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like that. So I'm going to have a negative 2/3 for my m and a negative 14/3 for my b value. Okay. All right. So then step 3 here will be to rewrite. So y equals, your slope is negative 2/3 x, x minus 14/3. And that will be your final answer for this equation. Okay. All right, so now in example 3, it says, in addition to his weekly salary, Ethan is paid $16 per delivery. Last week, he made 5 deliveries, and his total pay was $215. All right, so a couple of pointers here. Try to remember, the word per is usually telling you a slope, so there's a good chance that this is probably our slope. And last week, he made 5 deliveries for a total of $215. Chances are, when you're given this kind of information right now, it'll probably be in the form of coordinate point, but let's check and see what A says. So it says, write a linear equation to find Ethan's total weekly pay T. Okay, so again, capital letter usually means your Y, if he makes D deliveries. Okay, so if I'm kind of thinking about this a little bit, we know that we have, oh, let me erase that, sorry. We know that we have an XY coordinate point, and X in this case is going to be our D value, and the Y in this case is going to be T. All right. Okay, so as I read through this, we kind of talked about this already, but this right here, 16 per delivery, will be our slope because that's our changing value. And then if I look, it says 5 deliveries for $215. That fits really well into this D equals a total amount. So 5 deliveries gives you a total of $215. All right, so I have a coordinate point in this case of 5 deliveries, $215, with a slope of 16. So now we're going to be doing the same thing we were doing, trying to solve for B. So I've got y equals, oh, no, not y equals. I've got 215 equals, I guess if I'm thinking about y equals mx plus b, my y value will be 215, my slope is 16, my x value is 5 plus b. So I get 215 equals 80 plus b. And now I'll need to subtract that 80 off, and that will give me $135. So 135 equals b. All right, so now to rewrite my final equation, again, here's your slope, here's your b value. Those are the two things we need. Okay, so our final equation will look something like y equals 16x plus 135. Now this is not quite right because I still have to use my t and my d. Okay, so instead of y, let's say t equals 16, and instead of x, we say d plus 135. And that will be my final equation here for A. Okay. Now on B, it says use the equation. So the equation we just found right here. So we're going to use this guy right here to predict how much money he will earn in a week if he makes 8 deliveries. Okay. So we're just going to take this 8 deliveries and we're going to plug it in for D up here. All right. So to do this, so I've got T. That didn't work out so well. Okay. T equals 16 times 8 plus $135. So T equals 128. When I take 16 times 8, that's 128 plus 135. So he can make a total of $263. Okay. All right. This concludes the notes for today. If you're an academic, you need to then go ahead and complete these 3 problems for homework tonight and bring them ready to go for tomorrow. All right. Thanks.